Can a woman wipe over her khimar? Before we take the ruling on that, we need to know the ruling pertaining to a man's turban, because that's the foundation for the ruling on a woman's khimar. Khimar in Arabic applies to the head covering for both a man and a woman. Whatever covers the head can be referred to as a khimar on a man or on a female, completely encompassing the head we're talking about. There's a hadith in Sahih Muslim, hadith Bilal in Sahih Muslim, masaha ala al-khuffaini wal-khimar, that the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam wiped over the leather khuf and the turban. The term in Arabic used for turban hair is khimar. In this hadith is in Sahih Muslim. Ibn al-Athir said khimar hair means the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam's turban. There's another narration that the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam wiped over the turban, but instead of khimar, it refers to it as imamatahu. It specifically used the term turban. So that explains precisely what the khimar of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam was. Based on that hadith, hadith Bilal radiyallahu anhu, and also that's hadith in Sahih Muslim, and also Sahih Bukhari, رأيت النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يمسح على عمامته وخفيه. Those hadith prove that one can wipe over the turban entirely, and there's similar hadith like that to support that matter. Or one can wipe over the forehead, then continue wiping over the rest of the turban. مسح على الخفين ومقدم رأسه وعلى عمامته in Sahih Muslim. The Messenger wiped over the forehead, then continued over his turban. So the first one that I mentioned is he wiped over the turban. This one is, he mentioned the forehead, then continued over the turban. Ibn al-Qayyim made it clear in his book Zad al-Ma'ad, and Ash-Shawkani said something very similar. They said the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam wiped over his head, meaning bare head, when there was nothing on it. And sometimes over the turban. And sometimes over the forehead, then continuing over the turban. Some ulama said the only turban to be wiped over is the muhannaka, that has a du'aba muhannaka. What hangs from the turban down, sometimes it's put on the right side, sometimes left, sometimes it's laid on the back, and sometimes it covers the under the chin. Muhannaka is when the tail is wrapped below the neck, under the jaw. It goes under and it covers. Sometimes it covers the whole face. Some said that the turban that the one can wipe over is only the muhannaka, the one that wraps under and below the chin in the jaw. You see, it's more like of a niqab. They use it in the desert to protect themselves from the desert. Ibn Taymiyyah said the reason for allowing the wiping over the turban is not specifically because it's muhannaka like those other scholars said, that it's wrapped around the chin. He said the wisdom behind wiping on the turban is the general difficulty of taking it off and on, or the inconvenience and difficulty of fixing the layers, takwir. He said it could also be that one may be sweating in a cold day, and then taking it off may render him sick. That's a man's khimar. What about a woman's? The four madhab, Hanafiya, Malikiyya, Shafi'iyya, in one of two opinions in the Hanbali madhab, the majority of the Salaf and the ulama do not allow for a woman to wipe over her khimar. And among those who mentioned that is Sa'id ibn Musayyib, and Nafi' and Nakha'i. Some of them gave the exception if it's a very, very, very light khimar where water seeps through, then that's fine. And their proof on that is وَامْسَحُوا بِرُؤُوسِكُمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to wipe over the head. In a woman who has the khimar on, she's not wiping over head as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered her, if she does it over her khimar. And they stated that the permission or exemption is given to a turban, not a khimar of a woman. The second opinion is that woman can wipe over her khimar. That second opinion is the second opinion of the Hanabila. And some of the Salaf, they say, if it's difficult or inconvenient to take it off, in similarity to the turban, then it takes the ruling of the turban. And this is what Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah chose. and I believe this to be the correct rajih, it's very strong. Their qiyas analogy is extremely strong. So the reason I would say it's rajih is, number one, it's permissible to wipe over the turban, and the khimar takes the same ruling by analogy and qiyas. Number two, both are worn on the head and they cover the head. Number three, it's an inconvenience or difficulty to take both of them off and put them back on in a very near identical fashion. Number four is there's the fear of cold weather. If one is sweating, he takes it off, he may get ill, as Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah said. Fifth, not only is analogy applicable, but as Ibn Taymiyyah stated, the ruling is more essential and more needed for a woman's khimar, because the turban can be taken off in public. A woman cannot take off her khimar in public if she needs to make wudu. So it's more essential for the woman's khimar than it is for a man's turban. The sixth point is that it's been reported by Salama radiallahu anha that she wiped over the khimar.